Hi and welcome to PKMB.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoy our content, if you would consider hitting subscribe and like, that would be amazing.
Yep, and leave a comment as well.
Cool. So today, we talked about Ruth in church, and if you haven't had a chance to look at our other video, it's talking about dealing with tragedy, and that's from Ruth and Naomi dealing with tragedy there. Today, well, in this video rather, we're going to be talking about part two.
Part two. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about loyalty and friendship. You see this connection between Ruth and Naomi. Ruth says to Naomi, you know, where you go, I'll go. Your God will be my God. Your people will be my people. You know, not even death will separate us, which is a ridiculous thing to say because death will separate everyone. But you know,
that's how genuine she was.
Yeah, but the heart behind it is like, I'm not going away. You stay, I stay. You go, I go. And so there's this real intense loyalty.
And she left her family to do that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So she's from Moab, right? So the Moabites were not held in very high regard by the Israelites, right? So she's a Moabite, which is something to be said because she ended up in the lineage of Jesus. So,
so these were her in-laws that she was devoted to and loyal to.
That's right, and it made more sense. Yeah, it made more sense for her to go back after her husband died. That's Naomi's son. I'm hoping that you know the story of Ruth here, otherwise this is not going to make a whole lot of sense. But it made more sense for her to go back to her own hometown, to her own family, but she's like, no, I'm going to stick with my mother-in-law. All right, I'm going to go with her back to her hometown, Bethlehem, and this is intense loyalty. This is something that I think is to be valued. I was thinking about relationships in our culture here. We have a very different concept of friendship than I think what existed even in our culture, say 50 years ago, but certainly in other Eastern cultures. For example, you know, Facebook, we all got hundreds of friends on Facebook, right? But at the same time, like we literally have like a pandemic of loneliness.
Just lost your trail of thought for a moment there. Our boys just sort of came out. They're like, "Hi, let's have a chat." We're like, "No,
all right, go
not
away."
now.
No,
so you just lost your trail of thought.
Oh no, it's all right.
You're right.
No, I'm
back
good.
on.
I'm
back
on. Back on. So, yeah, just the loneliness and the lack of social cohesion. And I wanna for a second look at loyalty.
Sure.
What does loyalty look like in our culture? Does it even exist? What do you think?
Oh wow!
I'll just put you on the spot.
Loyalty.
Friendship between friends.
Yeah, I think it certainly has, and I think it depends on the culture as well. Like I think you're looking at what culture.
Yeah.
Because some cultures I feel are still very, very friendship oriented. But I think probably the Western culture, or at least from what I can see, people are becoming a lot more isolated. You don't know your neighbors.
COVID hasn't helped.
COVID hasn't helped. But
No,
COVID aside,
you don't know your neighbors either.
Yeah, you don't know. There's not that. Sure, just drop over. Or need some milk, you need to grab it from next door. We're living very isolated. You've got these garages that you can just sort of drive straight up, garage goes down and in you go.
Yeah.
So, and people probably aren't hanging around as often at the front because they're busy and they're working long days or they're having smaller houses, no backyards. So I think, I think it's definitely changing. So friendship is taking on a different form.
You know, the last time I preached on this topic, maybe, I don't know, 12, 18 months ago, something like that, the UK had a minister of loneliness.
Okay.
Just to deal with loneliness in their country, they had a minister of loneliness, you know, like a minister of defense, a minister of home affairs. They got a minister of loneliness. That's what a big deal this is. And here we have a beautiful picture of two people that are on each other's side and gonna like do life together. They've got each other's back. Imagine being surrounded by a group of people that just have your back no matter what.
Yeah, wow.
That's I think, well, firstly, that's family, but also taking another step. I think, you know, Ruth and Naomi weren't linked by family, not at that point in time, right?
The family bond had broken down once the husbands had
passed away,
passed
right?
away, yeah. So the culture was then for her to go back to her family.
That's right, but
and remarry.
So here we have two friends that love each other, that are committed to one another. And I was thinking of sharing with a few people this morning, like in the beginning when God created us, He created us to be relational beings, a relationship with Him and relationship with each other. Okay, and the relationships were perfect. This loyalty was there, and as soon as that breaks down, firstly the relationship with God breaks down. You start to see the relationship with people break down. Cain and Abel, the second generation. Cain kills Abel, and we see broken relationships from that point throughout human history. But then Jesus comes, steps in, repairs the relationship with God through His work on the cross, but also He's doing a work to repair the relationship with our fellow man. Okay, so the point I'm trying to make is this: that for those of us who are in Christ, one of the evidences that God is working in our hearts is that the relationships around us are repaired, are starting to be closer and more loyal.
Right, okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Because I think Jesus is relational, that was His heart. His love God, love people.
Yeah,
That's
the two greatest commandments.
The two greatest commandments, love God. So if you are in a relationship with Him and that is starting to really seep in and become a part of you,
you should start to see it in your family. Firstly, the people who are closest to you, and then further afield. And I'm convinced that the church or the people of God ought to have the best, strongest, most loyal relationships. Why do I say that? Because Jesus said, "There's a new commandment I give to you: love one another as I loved you, so that the world will know that Christ, that God has sent me." Like, imagine that.
You are my disciple.
Yeah. So imagine that there's a community of people that people walk into, and they experience this friendship and this loyalty that is so real, this relationship that is so real, that it gives evidence that God has done something in this place.
Right.
And that they may not know and understand all the theological aspects of this God, but they're like, this is right. This is how we were meant to be.
Sure, yeah.
And so
they will get a sense of that. This person is different.
Yeah.
Just in their whole being and the way they deal with their relationships and the choices that they make in their life. They are prioritizing people and connection with people
And as a side note, it's that loyalty, that friendship that Ruth showed to Naomi that actually took her into the position, into the lineage of Jesus, into a very prized, valuable, honorable position. When you look in Matthew chapter 1, verse 5, Ruth is mentioned in the genealogy of Jesus.
She's followed the culture and gone back to her family. That would have never happened. And in correct me if I'm wrong, in leaving and staying with Naomi, she was at risk of not marrying again at all.
There's risk of so many things. Because she was going to a country that was, she was a foreigner in that country, right? So it's not like she weighed up the options and go, oh, it's better to go with Naomi. It was a terrible decision to go with Naomi if you were just looking at pure logic at that point in time. She had no idea that she would be roped into the lineage of Jesus, and this will be such she would be the grandmother, or the great grandmother of King David. Okay, this is a very honored position to be in history, but she had no idea. All she was doing was being loyal. Another point that I did make, and I think is worth making here, is that often your destiny is held in the relationships you have.
That's deep.
Yeah. You've heard that saying, it's all about who you know.
Yeah. Well, you talk about the 5. You're yourself. You're the average of your 5 closest people.
5 closest friends.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. The average of your 5 closest friends, and so your relationships, your destiny is found in your relationships. It really does matter where God takes you.
Wisely.
Yeah. Well, it says bad company corrupts good characters. The other way around as well.
Sure.
You know, the right company, the right people in your corner will lead you in the direction you need to go. So
For sure.
that's a little bit about relationships. I don't think we value it enough in our society.
Facebook doesn't count.
Yes, yeah. Well, we're talking,
Social media.
but just to be clear, like I mean, there's a limit to how many close friends you can actually have. Like I'm not saying if you tell me you've got like 50 close friends, I mean that doesn't work.
You look at Jesus. He had many followers.
Yeah.
But he had 12.
Yeah.
And then he had the
Three.
Then he had the 3.
Then the 3. He's close in a circle. So when he was in his toughest times, like in the Garden of Gethsemane, he pulled the 3. Pulled the 3 in.
So it's only possible to be closely connected with so many.
But that's all you need.
People.
That's all you need. You need a couple of people, 2, 3, 4 people in your corner that will do life with you, that will, will be there for you, that would come if you picked up the phone in the middle of the night, and they'll hold you, you'll hold them, and that's part of good relationships that will see you go far.
Sure.
Awesome. Well, thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you. Now, I just wanted to mention, if you have watched this far and you are wondering why we're matching, not intentional. We were wearing jackets this morning. We took them off.
Bethany made me wear this
matchy.
to
Here
match,
we are.
yes.
And also, just this. If this has been bugging you the whole time, I apologize. But that's actually intentional.
I don't.
We have a 5-year-old learning to read at the moment, so we have sight words all over the house. It's working well for us. Little tip there if you are interested in trying it out. Thanks again for watching. If you are liking our content, we'll say it again, just subscribe, like our videos, and comment as well. Just let us know you've watched it.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.